they're all wrong. One's American and one is an Aussie. Talking about StarCraft 2 and the esports scene.
Hello, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad to be here. Happy podcast day.
Happy podcast day to you too.
Excellent.
I'm going to celebrate with a little bit of chocolate.
Oh, yeah? What kind?
Hokey Pokey.
What the heck is that?
You've never heard of Hokey Pokey chocolate?
Nope. Sounds very Australian to me.
Okay. I need to Google to find out what the technical definition of Hokey Pokey is, because to me it's just like crunchy. Oh, okay. It's from New Zealand, which explains why I know what it is. It's ice cream with, typically a Hokey Pokey ice cream, but it's Hokey Pokey chocolate. Solid lumps of honeycomb toffee.
Okay. That sounds good.
It is
I like
good.
that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, somebody should make a list of all the different kind of chocolate candy there is in the entire world. I think it would be like, how many? Like 1,000 or more? Maybe
Probably.
somewhere around there, I feel like. Yeah.
Yeah. I believe it.
Humans' aptitude for turning chocolate into its own unique candy is excellent, I feel like.
Yeah, we are uniquely suited on this planet to do it.
We are. I think even crows have only managed like 3 or 4 different varieties, and they're pretty smart, so.
Well,
I wasn't timing that. That worked out super well.
I was going to say the dolphins are trying, but they just can't get access to good ingredients.
Right. Every time they get some chocolate underwater, it kind of falls apart, so.
Specifically cocoa. Yeah.
Yeah, if dolphins were land-dwelling animals, they'd be ahead of us as a species. So,
For sure. Yeah.
Good thing they're in the sea. It really slows them down.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I understand you just finished the latest episode of Halo.
I did. Yeah.
So, I don't need you to spend a ton of time on this, but please explain how the show continues to desecrate the corpse of the intellectual property whose name it has stolen and is using for nefarious purposes.
Okay, so the biggest desecration this week was they shoehorned in a scene where Halsey goes to meet Chief as a kid. Now, historically, Chief was an orphan on a planet, and when she first sees him, she's with the captain, Captain Keyes from Halo 1. He was her research partner when he was a lieutenant or something, when he was lower in the ranks. And he's playing King of the Hill in the comics and the original books. He's dominating everyone because he's lucky and he's the best. And he's fighting, and he's an active kid. And she meets him, and then they play a game where she flips an old US coin that hasn't been in production or use for 500 years in universe. And he's able to call it heads or tails 3 times in a row. And she's like, "Wow, you're very lucky." And that's the lead in that the Chief is very lucky, and that's his skill.
Right. So, that character on Deadpool 2, crap, what was her name?
Domino,
thank you. Domino's superpower.
Kind of, but she's is a superpower. Things just happen around her. The Chief is lucky in the sense that he can make he puts in a lot of effort, and because he's the player, right? And the players. It's
better than the AI, right?
Right, or because the player can respawn in the game. Eventually, you have a run where you did everything right, which other people don't do, because people in real wars die frequently. But anyway, they shoehorn in that scene, and where Halsey came to visit John when he was living with his parents, and were like, "Hey, can I come meet you again? But it'll have to be our secret, wink." And I'm like, oh god, where's this going?
No. That's not terrifying at all.
And they do the coin flippy thing. And it's okay, John's lucky. But the important part of the coin flippy thing in universe is that's where the Spartans get their sigil from. Their insignias is a lightning bolt eagle thing, right? Off US coins.
Right.
In this, it's wolves.
Oh, sure. Okay.
So
Yeah.
Master Chief is running around with like a wolf symbol on his shoulder pad or whatever on his chest piece.
And there's no like backstory reason for it at all.
No.
Okay.
But in the books, it's the symbol of the coin.
Yeah.
Eagle, lightning bolt, and arrows, you know?
Uh-huh. Very American.
Very. But yeah, so that's the latest desecration.
Excellent. Glad to hear they're continuing to poop all over the Halo name while using it to get money. It's great.
Yeah. I mean, this most recent episode was more of an issue in just that it was boring and bad. Like, characters did things for no reason. Like,
maybe it'll be explained later, Somicron. Come on. They're setting things up.
I mean, they're definitely setting something up, and it's not good.
Okay.
So in the last episode, the Chief took out like this like a motion suppressing inhibitor in his spine. He like cut it out in the shower, and one of the other Spartans saw him doing it and didn't talk to him about it. He basically just immediately left to go dig up some stuff on his homeworld, and she's there and she's like, "Well, I saw the Chief doing this. I'm gonna do it too." Like, and just because like she doesn't interact with him for any reason, has no idea why he's done this, just was like, oh, the Chief did it. Seems like a good idea. And so she does it too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with you then. That really was a decision made for no reason. I'm down.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with you now. Yeah. So I've been trying to think of what to compare this to. This whole concept of this Halo show. I've decided what it is whoever controls the Stan Lee Twitter account.
Okay.
Using it after he died to sell NFTs.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I remember this.
So like using something that's beloved and a big deal and everybody likes it, and then just like foisting your own garbage onto it while piggybacking on the popularity of this other thing.
I mean, arguably that is way worse. Like, I think using
the NFT one,
yeah, well, using a dead man's account to make money is without a doubt
really bad, right?
That's morally offensive to me.
Yeah,
that's
why I made the comparison.
But I mean, Halo isn't morally offensive in any way. It's just bad and like disappointing. Because it's not a new thing in shows to be like, it's a different timeline or a parallel universe. Like, they've been doing that since like Star Trek, right? Like, it's been very old that they're doing that.
The ultimate disrespect of the original IP of the name IP that you're using, right? That's a different thing.
It's very different to puppeteering a dead man's account, yes.
No, I mean, like, Star Trek The Next Generation has a lot of a love for the original Star Trek series, right?
Sure.
Just trust me on this one. It does.
But so then
that's using the Star Trek name to do your own timeline and your own characters and your own stories, but it doesn't mean that you're shitting all over the original Star Trek.
But
you honor it.
But the J.J. Abrams also do the same thing, and then the first thing they do in the first movie is like blow up Vulcan, and it's like, oh well, this is supposed to lead into the Next Generation. I don't know the names of the timelines because I haven't actually seen the show, but I was listening to old podcasts recently where they talked about it, where they were like, yeah, so this is supposed to lead into one of the other more established timelines, but now just can't because Vulcan is gone. Right?
They're in a different timeline.
No, yes. It's supposed to be the same timeline.
No, it's not. They went through a wormhole and they're in a different timeline. Whoever said that didn't understand the movie. I've seen that movie 4 times. It's okay. And the reason I know this is because J.J. Abrams, this is a great example because Abrams was like, I don't want to pay attention to all the previous lore in Star Trek. That's too much. I don't want to deal with any of that stuff. I'm going to take these characters, throw them through a wormhole, and dump them in a universe that is a multiverse step away from that one. So I don't have to do any of the stuff from Next Generation.
Right.
It doesn't exist. I can do my own thing. I'm free.
So Halo's doing the same thing.
Yes. Without being as overt about it.
I mean, they're telling everyone that it's a different timeline.
Oh, they are? Okay.
Yeah, it's called the Silver Timeline. That's why they reference it. Like, this show will be set on the Silver Timeline because the Chief is part of Silver Team.
Okay.
Which is another dumb change. It's like, why Silver? Why not? Like, why change it from the original Blue Team? I mean, I guess the reason why they did it is because they didn't. There's no other members from Blue Team. They invented all new Spartans, so I guess fine. But
It's hard to make a team.
it's hard.
Okay, fine.
It's hard to say that this is being disrespectful when something like J.J. Abrams does the exact same thing, but is somehow honoring it.
No. J.J. Abrams is not honoring it. J.J. Abrams is 100% being disrespectful of it and not understanding what the thing is that came before it. So here's the thing. It's very similar, actually, thinking about it. So hardcore Star Trek fans hate the J.J. Abrams stuff. They hate the new timeline concept and taking all their characters and making them different and having different things happen. They hate it. But you know what? Me, who's not a hardcore Star Trek fan, don't care as much. I think the Abrams movies are fun. Yeah, that first one especially is fun. I enjoyed watching it. Like I said, I've seen it 4 times. I don't watch stuff that I hate 4 times ever.
No, you don't? Just me then.
No. Yeah, that's a you thing. So, yeah. So, right? So, the same thing. Halo fans, the hardcore Halo fans are like, die in a fire. You're taking all of our characters and timelines and screwing with them.
Aki has a different perspective. She says she's a hardcore Trekkie fan. And I guess thinks it's fine. By that statement, assumes that she is a hardcore Star Trek fan and likes the J.J. Abrams movies.
Well, that is fair, Aki. All of the really hardcore Star Trek fans that I've talked to, other than you, either in person, like in my family, or people that I work with, or people online, those people have pretty much been in agreement that they don't like the Abrams stuff, what he did with it.
How do they feel about the new Discovery show? Is that what it's called?
Discovery.
Is it any good? I don't
know. Mixed. I know some people that like it. Some people really hate it who are Star Trek fans. Discovery's, I haven't seen much of it, but the Discovery is that you're doing a lot of multiverse and time travel stuff already. The whole concept in Discovery is that the ship has some kind of special warp drive that can travel through time and into other multiverses. So they just, right off the bat, they were just like, we're messing around with different timelines and things. And so, yeah, in a lot of the ways, they're doing the same thing that Abrams did.
Okay.
But also and I have heard the similar complaints about Discovery that it's not honoring previous Star Trek stuff because it's using the same trick. It's like it's alternate timelines and it's time travel and it's creating new timelines by time traveling, right? So, yeah, I think fairly similar with Discovery. I don't know if Aki's watched any Discovery, but also Aki doesn't hate any shows. So, I don't know.
Aki's a bit strange. No offense, Aki. But we'll only watch things after it's had like 5 or 6 very strong, good reviews from friends or family. And then, so as a result, only tends to watch things they like anyway.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. So that wouldn't...
Because I know I recommended a lot of stuff in passing by and Aki's just not seen it. And it's like, oh, I'm not going to either because figures they won't like it. So they just don't watch it.
Right. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
Anywho, yeah, all right. So what Halo's doing is not new. And I don't know. I mean, we're a capitalist society, right? What really matters here is how much money the property is making for the people that are producing it.
Sure.
So, like the first Star Trek, I don't know which one. What's that called?
Into Darkness? No, that's the second one. Star Trek.
It's just called Star Trek. Wow. Yep. Okay, Star Trek 2009.
Wow, was it that long ago?
Yeah, because I was living in Idaho. So it made about $400 million.
Okay. On a budget of $150 million, so that's $250 million profit.
That's success. I think that's pretty successful.
That's reasonably successful. Yeah.
The people that I've talked to that really like it are not people who've seen every episode of the original series and Deep Space Nine and Voyager and The Next Generation, right?
Right.
Those people are not the ones who are the huge fans of this. It's people who are casual fans of Star Trek or maybe haven't seen anything who go into it blind and just really enjoyed it.
Sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, so that's a success. What I really hate about the streaming services is that they don't release ratings at all. It's all internal.
Well, I mean,
So
you
we have
can.
no idea how many people are watching Halo unless they tell us.
That's true, I suppose, but
The only
doesn't.
thing the only way we can know is if they cancel it. If they cancel something, it means the ratings were bad. They're not going to tell us what the ratings were, but they were bad.
But they already greenlit it for a second season.
Okay, so it's getting good numbers for season 1 then.
No. They greenlit it before season 1 had aired.
Never mind. I don't know why they would do that. Why would they do that?
I don't know, but they did.
That's crazy. What if like 4 people are watching this and you're one of them? And they're going to spend another tens of hundreds of millions of dollars on a season 2 and get nothing in return? That's amazing.
Maybe.
I mean, they could always take it back, right? They could always be like, yeah, we greenlit season 2, and then season 1 ratings are in the toilet, and they're like, never mind. We don't actually have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless they've already started shooting it. God, that'd be crazy.
They could have. I don't know.
Huh.
What are they going to say?
Yeah. Well, just the concept of doing, this is not a new thing, taking intellectual property, twisting it to your own purposes without really respecting the previous versions of it is not a new concept. And as long as it makes money, they're going to keep doing it, I guess is my point.
Okay, I found a rough way to tell you how many people are watching it.
Okay.
There are 2,054 audience score ratings on Rotten Tomato for the show.
I mean, if it's 2,000 people, we're in a lot of trouble.
Well, I mean, you just have to like roughly guess. Do you think 10% of the people who watch the show go to Rotten Tomatoes and rate it?
No,
Less?
no. 10% seems crazy high.
It does. So,
like 0.01.
0.01.
But even if we go that small and extrapolate, that's still not a lot of people.
That puts it in the like 2 million people range, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's not... these days, 2 million is actually kind of awesome. 20 years ago, that would have sucked.
I mean, they're on average giving it 55%. So,
ooh, yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, Tomato Meter says 69, which is nice, but it's not great.
No. Are there critic reviews?
Let's have a look. Top critics are rating it at 41%.
Goodness.
I don't see... Okay, well, interesting that this has a full episode list. Only like 4 episodes are out, so that's cool. I didn't know there would only be 9 episodes. There are some critic reviews, but yeah. I mean, I haven't read any of these, and the first one's really, I don't know, it's not much of a statement. Because basically it's like, well, it's not a typical kind of disaster that emerges when video games launch into other mediums. Only time will tell if fans want to keep watching it or wish they were just still playing. That doesn't it doesn't tell us anything about what you thought about the show.
No, that's a bad review. So okay, so we talked about this I think last week and maybe the week before, but one of the reasons you don't want to do a faithful adaptation of your thing is because it's hard, 1, and 2, it's to appeal to a larger audience to get more money and get more views. So if you're not doing that, then like why? Just appeal to the hardcore fans, accept the probably smaller viewer base of people who might be interested in hardcore Halo lore, right? And just roll with it. It's a gamble, I guess. You just gamble that if you expand the story and change it so you're trying to make it more appealing to a larger audience, but they don't come, then you're just screwed because the original people don't like it and the larger audience doesn't like it.
Yeah. There is a funny kind of meme in the Halo Infinite community, which is to write out the word broader and put a space between every letter and then write audience, like, because they're all like, that's what they're trying to do, is reach a broader audience, and they use that as a joke every time there's like a Halo patch that comes out and it doesn't offer anything that actual Halo players want, and it's like because they're trying to reach a broader audience.
Right.
That's what this show feels like. It's trying to reach a broader audience.
And I don't know that they're succeeding with it. So crap. Yeah, tough meetings they're having, I think, at this point, probably.
Hopefully. I would hope so.
Yeah, maybe.
6 months since Halo Infinite came out. Still no Forge or co-op.
Yeah. No, the Halo subreddit is not happy about anything to do with Infinite.
No, we just got a sneak peek look at a bunch of the new skins that are coming out in Season 2 that you can buy. Amazing how they kept working on that. And they look like stuff out of like Wolfenstein, maybe a little bit of a Doom inspired, but nothing that looks remotely Halo.
But
well, I shouldn't say not remotely Halo. They don't look remotely Spartan.
Okay.
Yeah. These could exist somewhere, but they don't necessarily look like Spartan stuff, and it's cool. More skins I won't buy. Thanks.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, whatever. Enough Halo.
Enough Halo
chat.
Yep.
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
So I've had like a week to think about it, and where I'm landing is it feels uneven. Like the writing for episode 3 feels like it's kind of all over the place. There are some decisions made that aren't quite clear why they were made, and some character actions that are like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And I actually listened to a podcast that talked about the episode, and Disney sent out 4 screener episodes for the show.
Yeah.
Before it aired, instead of the traditional 3.
Okay.
And what they're wondering is that because it doesn't really hook the viewer until episode 4? Like, the first 3 are okay, but it isn't until 4 that people are like, oh, all right, I know why we're doing this now, right?
I already feel like I'm there, though.
Okay, so you don't need it. You don't need the 4th episode.
No, I was kind of in by the second one.
Okay.
I feel like this episode was fine. It did feel like there was a bit, I wouldn't say all over the place, but just a bit like meandering. I don't know. I feel like because they sneak in the like, oh, now Mark is having blackouts and Steven's taking over. Like, contrast to the first episode where it was the other way around.
Yeah, that was kind of fun.
That was fun. Like, he's waking up and he's like in a cab heading to the airport and stuff. It's like, oh, okay, it's fun. But
that was a really fun moment. I like that a lot.
Right. But also we're having like meetings with the other avatars of gods. And we already know that if you're not an avatar of your god, you can't see, well, gods. Because Arthur Harrow can't see Khonshu. So we're having right. So we're having this like big meeting about like, oh, is he actually trying to raise this person from the dead? It's like, how about you guys just go and follow him for a day?
Right. Right. That's my biggest complaint about this episode is they're like, this is a pretty serious accusation. This dude's trying to bring Amit back, who we specifically killed for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
We are concerned about this. Let's bring in the accused. We're going to let them make a couple statements and then decide to believe them.
Yeah.
And case closed. It's like, what? How? What? Because like you said, follow him around to where he's digging into the desert. Where you buried Amit?
Well,
this is not hard.
They don't know where they buried Amit.
They don't?
No, that's why they had. That's why they had to go find a sarcophagus that had directions on where to go. Because they told them that the gods deliberately hid it from themselves. Yeah.
How do you do that?
I have no idea.
Okay, fine. But go to where he's digging in the desert and listen to the conversations they're having about how they're looking for Amit. Like, this is not hard.
Or how one of them has a magical artifact that points to the tomb of Amit. Right? Like,
yeah.
Also,
yes, so that everyone has tattoos of Amit on their wrists. Every single one of them.
Or that he's carrying an Amit cane that glows magical purple powers.
Right. It was just, the story was like, we need the council to not believe Khonshu, and that's what's going to happen. Should we write it so it's believable? Nah. We don't need any logic here. It's fine.
I really wanted when Harrow was like, this man is unwell, right? For Mark or Steven just to be like, dude, you put glass in your shoes.
I didn't even think about that. That would be super good. I would love that. Like, who are you to be anyway?
Yeah.
Well, then Khonshu, like, he's His entire case is, this is happening. You should believe me. Like, dude, put forth some arguments or evidence of some kind. Nope. Incapable of that. All he can do is yell and be petulant. Like, Khonshu's dumb. He's this embodiment of justice and he's stupid. Or at least they wrote him that way. Oh, there's also okay, so we're gonna go back to this, but evidence number 2 that Khonshu is stupid. They're like, this star map, it was created for 3,000 years ago. Right. And then instead of being like, there are literal apps that can turn back the night sky thousands of years. Let's use one of those. He's like, I'm gonna do a thing that I know will get me imprisoned in stone. Let's do this.
Khonshu doesn't have the App Store on his stuff or anything like that. I don't expect him to know what's available in the App Store. The other 2 humans there, they should be able to know that this is something you can do.
Like Steven, maybe not. But like Layla's an intelligent human being with access to technology. Yeah. Yes, it drives me nuts. There are a couple things the writers needed to happen in this episode, and they couldn't really do it without making their characters dumb.
I would like to say that I immediately started this episode off laughing my ass off because when Arthur Harrow turns up to like this area in the sand and he's like, we found it, this is where she is, right? Like, she's here, everyone start digging. That is the exact spot in Transformers 2 where they go in Egypt, like the same location to film, where there's like a tomb of all the prime Autobots that are hiding some like secret.
So it's probably like in California is what you're saying.
It might be.
It's California desert. Yeah.
Right. It's literally the same place. And I'm like, Shia LaBeouf sat on that rock. I can see it.
That's an amazing spot. I haven't seen anybody else make that same that connection before. That's fantastic. And or like Nevada or something. Anyway. Right.
And then they also find that same place in Egypt by looking at the stars. Right? Like, they also arrive at the same location through a
following a star map.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, no wonder you made the connection. That was pretty easy. Okay, that's funny. Yeah, it's gotta be a California desert. I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
I would assume so. Yeah.
There's a few of those.
Because it has that like nice, lovely, smooth wall up against that rock face to the left of the scene. And in the show, there's like a mural painted there, and they break it open.
Yeah.
Well, in the movie, the Transformers.
In the movie, it'd be funny if they did that again. They're like, how many connections can we draw between this and Transformers before the people will start really noticing? I think that'd be fantastic. I mean, really enjoy it.
I think this might actually just be a Transformers movie because Khonshu turned into a piece of rock. Like, that's a transformation.
It's true. A lot of transforming. Mark turns into Moon Knight. Like, there's tons of transforming happening in this show. Yeah. So they also introduce a third psyche, a third personality inside of the body.
Yeah.
That neither Stevie nor Mark are aware of. They don't know they exist.
I mean, was he just being possessed by Khonshu?
Ooh, that's a good question. Because
Khonshu can do that.
True, we did see that.
Yep.
So Mark goes to Egypt to like find out where the heck Ahmed is buried.
Yep.
And just like starts questioning randos on rooftops. And so he's fighting them.
Mm-hmm.
And then like it's a knife fight and Stevie's really uncomfortable with it and he doesn't like what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so he takes over the body.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's not the first, it's when he comes back the first time, is he stabbing the guy?
No. So the first time he comes back, he's in the car, like the taxi heading to the airport.
He's in the taxi. Okay.
And then he's like driving by in the taxi. They stop in traffic. And just so happens that the guys he was fighting on the rooftop walk out of the building.
Which is insane.
Yes.
What is going on? What kind of coincidence is this? Yeah.
Who knows? So he chases them down to an alley where he gets conked on the back of the head. And they go out. They pass out. And then he wakes up and he's stabbing the guy.
Yeah. Right.
And Stevie
And
swears it's not him.
right. And Mark's like, well, it wasn't me. So, and one thing they showed in this episode is that Mark is unwilling to really beat the shit out of this teenager-looking person he's fighting, right? He's like, "You're too young for me to actually like knock unconscious."
Right.
Which is like, okay, so you're
Well-
the one who's like murdered an entire archaeologist team in the desert, and you're drawing the line at a 17-year-old?
Well, okay, so we don't know that he's actually murdered any of the archaeologists in the desert. Like,
And that's where I was gonna go, but you go ahead.
We're told that, and I mean, he's definitely just like making a moral decision that this kid hasn't really done anything bad, and so I'm going to like rough him up, but I'm not going to kill him because I think he was more than willing to kill the other guys that came at him with a knife because they were older and like kind of like made their deal ages ago.
Which, whatever, you don't know what any of these people have done.
They literally just killed someone in front of him.
Yeah. Fair point. Yeah. So, okay, so my question is there the third personality, are they just a bloodthirsty murderer? And all of the like hardcore murdering archaeologists, right, stabbing people that Mark doesn't want to kill, the third personality is willing to do it. Whether that's Khonshu or not, whether it's Khonshu or whether it's another personality, there's a third psyche here that seems more willing to do stuff that Mark won't do.
I mean, maybe. The problem is Mark is pretty willing to kill people anyway, so having a personality that's just like the even more extreme version of him is, I mean, kind of pointless because he's already stabbing people with his moon knives, you know? His little batarang moons, you know?
Yeah.
So having there be someone who's just willing to kill people already, I don't know. I don't buy it. I think it's just Khonshu being like, I got this. You can't, neither of you can keep control of the body for more than like 10 minutes. You've just been knocked unconscious. I'm going to hop in and take over for a bit because neither of you are in the driver's seat at the moment. And so that's what he does.
Fair.
That's
fair enough. I will tell you in the comics, there's a third main personality.
Oh, is there?
So, yeah, if they're doing comic stuff, there's probably a third one. But again, they're not doing 100% comic stuff here. This is an adaptation.
It's true.
So, we'll see. We'll see what it is, because they're definitely keeping a secret right now.
Yeah. Did you, by any chance, watch the teaser for Thor: Love and Thunder?
I don't watch trailers for stuff I'm going to watch.
So you're going to watch it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a Taika Waititi Thor movie. Like, 100% I'm going to watch it.
Okay.
Like, Ragnarok is one of those few things I've seen 4 or 5 times because it's so good. And it's just Taika Waititi resurrecting and fixing the Thor character and making a really awesome movie. Taika's great.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Is there like a Moon Knight connection? You can just tell me yes or no.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No. It's just more Marvel that I'm actually interested in.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, it might be an incredible run here for the MCU going No Way Home into Multiverse of Madness into Love and Thunder. Like, that's a pretty solid 3-movie run, assuming the other 2 turn out to be good, right?
Yeah. I mean, I assume Love and Thunder will be good. I'm hoping Multiverse of Madness will be good. But I mean, Eternals came out last year before No Way Home.
Yeah, and it wasn't that well received at all.
No, like I haven't bothered watching it yet.
Yeah. I've yet to see one person who's like, Eternals is my favorite movie, or like the best MCU movie of the last 2 years, right?
Right.
People that like it are like, yeah, and I recognize the problems with it, but I like it anyway. Like that's usually where the conversation goes.
It's got a Rotten Tomatoes of 47.
Oh my gosh. Should have been a Disney Plus show. They've got like 14 main characters. Just give them a whole season to run with. Why dump that and cram it into one movie? I don't get it.
Who knows?
Anywho, I don't know. Anywho, yeah. So Love and Thunder. Hopefully it's great. I am looking forward to it for sure. So okay, so back to Moon Knight.
Okay.
So we learned some things about the suit.
Did we?
Because so Moon Knight, he gets into a fight, right, with the dudes at the horse place.
Sure. Gets stabbed a bunch.
Yeah. So first of all, his cape can block bullets because he uses it to shield himself and Layla from gunfire.
Sure. Well,
Eh,
sort of.
What do you mean, sort of? Did they get shot?
Yeah, because he has to throw out his shirt after the fight. He's like, well, I like this shirt, but he's putting his fingers through bullet holes.
Yeah, but I mean,
So
that's interesting.
the cape might just have been to catch and like hide where exactly Layla was, even though she was right in front of him. Like it's just about making
Yeah.
a screen, and then he physically just Deadpool up the bullets. But like, yeah, I'll just block them with my body. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And then, yeah, the bigger thing is he gets directly impaled with these spears and is annoyed, but not otherwise in pain or like dying at all.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So, man, so the suit makes you stronger. And it's not, because I've heard some people earlier talk about it being like giving you a healing factor.
Sure, it does.
I don't think it's but I don't. Is it healing factor if you
yeah.
can get stabbed right through and it doesn't even hurt? Like,
Yeah.
Wolverine experiences pain
Sure.
and then recovers from it.
So does Deadpool. He got his arm chopped off. He got bisected and he was fine. Like he was just upset.
That's true. Deadpool's healing factor is that way.
And also in the first episode, Mark Spector jumps out of a window in like the Alps or whatever they are, and Stevie wakes up and his jaw is like shattered and it reconstitutes itself. So he's clearly healing, but it looked painful. It looked like Stevie was in pain.
Yeah, but if it really hurt, you don't think he would have like cried out? Like Stevie's not adapted to pain, like I assume Mark is, right?
But pain that is actively healing itself. I don't know. Can't hurt.
He's not even wearing the suit there. That's the crazy thing.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it gives it to you on and off. Like,
I guess this is my question. Is like the powers of the suit and being Moon Knight are not super clear. Like they're trying to give us parameters here, but I'm not sure they're succeeding all that well.
Maybe as part of his schizophrenia, he believes he only has the powers when he's in the suit, but he actually has them all the
time. I like it.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Because when he was falling from the window in the second episode, they were like screaming at him, "Put on the suit, otherwise like this will hurt." Like, because he's falling out of like a 3-story building. And
right.
So he puts on the suit and he's fine. And it's the fabulous 3-piece white dress suit or whatever it is.
The Mr. Knight suit, yeah.
Mr. Knight suit, yeah.
Which is fun. Also, like during that fight with the impaling, Stevie's like upset and he's like, "Let me take over," and then is instantly like, "Never mind, this
take the body, 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 take the body."
Yeah, I thought that was fantastic.
I really like that, yeah.
And then, so at the end there, when they have the map and they're trying to figure it out, I did like the moment where Stevie's like, "Give me the body, I'll take care of this," and Mark doesn't want to. And instead of like forcing Stevie to communicate him from inside the glass prison or whatever, he does give it to him. He gives him the body.
Right.
Which, again, he had to overcome some reluctance there, which I think indicates that he's coming to maybe more trust and value Stevie than he has been previously.
Could be. Or it's just him swallowing a bitter pill and realizing he has to.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't think it's a matter of trust. I think it's entirely necessity at this moment. I was a little annoyed that Stevie could just magically put these pieces of scrap together in a perfect way. I mean, they do set it up that he's like laying in bed doing like Rubik's cubes without even looking or whatever. In the first episode, he's really good with puzzles, I guess.
Right, and that whole sleep aid podcast I was listening to talked specifically about doing puzzles.
Yeah.
Right. So they've been kind of setting that up. That brings me to another thing we talked about last week, like the personalities. If Stevie is a construct of Mark's, but I was watching this episode and I was like, there's stuff that Stevie knows that Mark doesn't know. How does Mark do that? If this is a construct that he created, he can't create a construct with information he himself doesn't have, right?
Right, but I mean, actual schizophrenics with like split personalities can totally learn things that are unknown to the other personalities. Like that's a thing that can actually happen.
Okay.
Because you might like I might read a book and I go, okay, I know the contents of the book, and then my other personality doesn't know that I've read the book, wouldn't know to look in their brain that they have it, so they can't access it.
Gotcha,
Like,
gotcha. Okay,
yeah.
so yeah, so you're saying he creates the construct and then Stevie on his own as a
Hmm.
distinct personality that Mark does not have access to develops certain skills and learns certain things, and so he's his own person that Mark doesn't.
Right. I mean, Mark makes it sound like he's kind of always a fly on the wall. And so he should know what Stevie's been up to and like what he's doing and what books he's reading and whatnot.
Hmm.
So he should be, but I guess he just isn't some of the time.
Well, maybe he just doesn't care. Like when Stevie's sitting at his desk reading books, Mark's like, "Oh, this is nerd shit. Like I'm out." Right?
Maybe. Sure.
Maybe. Anyway, here's the thing about the MCU. They really dislike creating and explaining hard magic rules.
Sure.
They've never done that. They've never
No.
done it for Doctor Strange. They never did it for the Infinity Stones. They didn't do it for. Haven't done it for Wanda at all. And
Right.
all of Wanda's Disney Plus and movie going stuff. So yeah, no, I guess they just. I don't expect them to get into the nitty gritty and explaining all of this stuff. Is what I'm
No.
saying.
No. Neither do I.
Which is kind of a bummer. I just because like the personality things isn't magic.
No.
Just like tell us how that works then.
Hey, if you could just sci-fi up an explanation about how schizophrenia works, we'd really appreciate it.
Well, yeah, except I don't know that it's exactly how schizophrenia works, what he's doing,
I
right?
mean, I don't know enough about what he's doing in schizophrenics either to really making a judgment call on that. It could
Yeah, I
be
don't
for
know.
some,
I'm
it
not an
could not be
expert.
for others. Who knows?
Could be. I've just never heard of an example of a schizophrenic who gives their well, no. The whole giving control of the body to another personality thing, I have heard of that happening. So, fair enough. Anyway, what else?
Yep.
What else? I thought it was interesting too. They really give us a lot of time with Mark and Layla, and then with Stevie and Layla. And then Mark is in hardcore, like, I do not want to be close to you because I'm worried about what Khonshu's gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna tell you I never cared about you. I'm gonna tell you you never knew who I was. I was hiding myself from you the whole time so that you won't try to get closer to me. And then when it's Stevie, Stevie's just this love smitten puppy dog who's like, you're pretty and you like all the stuff that I like. Let's get married, right?
Kind of, yeah.
He's into it. So Layla's like, I've got this dude here who looks like my husband,
Mm-hmm.
but isn't acting like a dick. It's gotta be weird for her, right?
Yeah, I imagine this whole scenario was quite weird for her. She watched him turn back the stars.
Yes. Which again did not need to happen by any stretch. That was not needed.
Oh.
Oh. I also thought it was interesting during the meeting of the avatars of the gods inside the pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
The one goddess of music and like love and stuff is all, yo, what's up? Like Khonshu and my god used to really get along. We
Yeah.
should be friends. And Mark's like, I don't care. Like,
Nah.
I don't want to be friends with you.
I don't think Mark was like, I don't care. I think he was just like, Khonshu's never talked about you. Like, he just doesn't know what to say or do. Because she's
That's true.
expecting there to be familiarity. I can't say that word.
Familiarity.
Familiarity. That's close enough.
Yeah.
And it's just not there because he doesn't know anything, right? And then
Right, but like have some social grace, Mark. Don't just like stare at her blankly. Like be nice about it. I don't know.
Mean, maybe he's just
really not a social person.
He's surprised that Khonshu has friends.
His mind is just blown and he can't even come up with a coherent sentence. He's just so fixated on this. Like, wait, what?
That makes sense to me.
I like it. So one question I have too about that is after they entomb Khonshu, they're like, "Yo, Harrow, come back. We're gonna let you gloat." Why? What is that?
We're gonna let you face your accusers, show you that we've locked him up, that he's not gonna be able to harass you anymore.
Oh, okay.
Or secretly Osiris is working with him, because the guy he was talking to in like the alley as they walked out into that room was the avatar for Osiris.
Wait, what? What alley?
Well, there's a little like hallway in the pyramid that they're talking to, and they meet. Like the scene starts there with a shot of them talking in a hallway, and then they walk out into that main area where the little statue of Khonshu is.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So it's shot as being a private conversation. All the gods aren't there. It's just this other one.
Right. It's not the same place,
right?
That the trial was.
I think it was. I think it was.
Oh.
It had just been repurposed for something else. But it's just shot to look very suspicious that this one guy has brought Harrow back here to be like, look, we got him. You don't need to be worried. Go about your business, sir.
Okay. So Harrow put out a restraining order on Khonshu. And the cops were like, look, we're enforcing it. You're safe now.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. No, I get that. I totally get that. Fair. Anywho, so he gets to gloat, which is fun for him.
Yep. Good for him.
Yeah. Anywho, excited for 4. We'll see what that's all about, which again is going to come out in like 5 hours.
Something like that. Yeah.
That's the release schedule in relation to the podcast.
It's true.
Yeah. I'm just glad Oscar Isaac has a lot to do. It's nice.
Yeah.
I think he's doing a great job because like I 100% consider Stevie and Marty to be different people.
Sure, yeah.
Right? I'm buying it.
I like them both for different reasons.
Yeah, totally. Totally. I'm still confused about this fear that Mark has that Khonshu can just like take Layla. Right?
Well, I mean, so he made a deal with Khonshu. So I assume that most of this is about bargains.
Well, sure, but he was dead.
Sure.
Or like very close to dead, and Khonshu's like, yo, I can either bring you back from the dead or I can prevent you from dying.
Right.
But you got to help me. And like 95% of people would be down with this, right?
Probably, yeah.
It's not a hard choice, I guess, unless you want to die, which fine. But yeah. Well. So yes, it implies choice is required. So why is Mark so worried that Layla would be like, yeah, make me the Moon Knight and I'll fly around the world and murder people for you, Khonshu. That's my deal.
Because maybe she's into that.
I don't know that she is. She's like this gentle woman
who picked up a gun and shot people. At the horse riding place, she shot people.
In self-defense. It's true.
They were running away.
Did she shoot people who were running away?
I think they were.
Oh my gosh. All right.
You're right. They were either running towards her or away from her, but it was the same direction that Harrow's people were leaving from. So I thought they were just some of Harrow's retinue. Which might have been attempting to apprehend her in preparation to keep him safe, because she might have shot at him, but they might have also just been leaving. I don't know. But she seems totally fine with shooting people. That's my point.
True. But I mean, that's one thing to be cool with shooting people. Another thing to be like getting the drop on 5 archaeologists and killing them in cold blood, right?
Right. We still don't know if he did that.
We don't. Well, did he deny it?
I don't know. But like, do you trust the 2 random police that are also working for Harrow to provide reliable evidence and information?
Yeah, but I thought there's a couple scenes where Mark is faced with this information and never once is he like, that wasn't me. I'm being framed. He seems ashamed of it.
Maybe. I mean, I'm just waiting for more information before I throw a stone.
That's entirely fair.
Yeah.
So Layla's whole thing, which we get in this episode, is she deals artifacts from archaeologists or people who are gathering them, or I guess maybe museums, and returns them to the countries from where they came.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, that's...
She probably has a lot of work in London. I'm just going to throw that out there. She's back and forth to India like 20 times a year and not making a dent.
all the work she has to do. It's all the time she has.
Yeah.
Right. There's a lot of it. Yeah, I don't know. That archetype isn't usually the same thing as the dispensing murdery justice type, like the Punisher type, right?
Right, but she did marry She did marry Mark Spector. Like,
yes.
And she knows all about the suit and its abilities and is like, all right,
He's
cool.
a mercenary.
Go and dispense justice, Mark, my lovey-dovey hubby. Like,
can I watch?
Where there's GoPro.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So maybe she is totally a bloodthirsty human who would love to be Moon Knight if Mark doesn't want to do it anymore.
Maybe.
And Mark doesn't want that for her, in which case he's a controlling asshole. Like, let her make the choice, man.
Or maybe he's not really worried about if she's interested. He's worried that if I don't do this, Khonshu will just beat her to a pulp and then offer her the same deal he gave me, which is work for me or I'll let you die.
It's not very justicey of him. Wouldn't that kind of override the whole concept of justice?
I mean, maybe. But if Khonshu is the third personality in his brain, which he probably isn't, that's the one that did the actual stabbing and is probably the one that actually killed the architects in the desert. And that was probably somehow related to him being close to dead, because fighting people is deadly, dangerous work. And that's where he got the deal made to become Moon Knight. I'm just saying, the shoe fits, Cinderella. Like, Khonshu's back there pulling the strings.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
Maybe. Certainly maybe.
Yeah, actually, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they never explained exactly why Mark is afraid for Layla. It's the motivation. It's why he's acting this way. It's why he's divorcing her. That's all you need to know.
Mm-hmm. That's probably it, yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. All right, good stuff. StarCraft happened.
It did, yeah. We had the second round of Group A matches.
Yeah, that's what it was. Group A. That's second round before the playoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's the second round of groups before the round of 6, which is before the playoffs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fair.
It's not any better. I mean, they had to try to spice things up and have this new format, and all I can see is that 3 people made out of this group, and they all got deposited into separate rounds of a bracket. It's really strange.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, second part. Any surprises here? Let's see.
Ragnarok getting out, kind of, but only because I was watching and Bjorn was playing really well, and if it wasn't for his wrist, probably would have 2-0'd Rogue in that second series he played, and I think that would have pushed him over and he would have gotten out, or at least it would have tied or something.
Fair.
It was something like that.
Ragnarok going 2 or Ragnarok. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one.
2-1
Never mind.
Ryung.
Yeah, that's what it was. 2-1 Ryung.
Yeah.
And then Trap 2 winning Rogue is pretty impressive.
That is, yeah. This was some good games. That game, Rogue one, really fun to watch. Highly recommend.
Yeah. It's on YouTube.
It is.
Which is
Although
nice.
I was a little annoyed at the Africa TV YouTube channel, because they stream and the VOD is just one big VOD, right? Because it's a VOD of the stream and it's 5 hours long. That's the one I want, because I'll just skip through the breaks and find the next match and keep watching.
Yeah, of course.
I loaded that up and then I went and took a shower or whatever when I got up in the morning. And by the time I came back, I went and hit play and it refreshed and it's like, oh, this video has been set to private. You have to go watch the videos individually after they cut them up.
Oh, no. I didn't realize they did that.
They apparently do that.
Oh, I guess I only watch them soon enough after that they haven't done that yet.
Yeah. But I guess they realize they can get 5 views out of every person by splitting it up into the individual matches and making you click 5 times.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Or they make it easy. That's a cynical way of looking at it. Or the generous way is they're making it easier for people to find the matches they actually want to watch.
That's true.
Yeah.
They could just put bookmarks into the big long VOD.
They could.
Which might be the best way if they wanted to do that. So whatever. Whatever. So yeah, all in all, Trap Rogue Ragnarok.
Yep.
Making it out.
That they are. Good on them. Trap immediately going to the semifinals. And
that's awesome.
Yep. Rogue getting out second, so he goes into the second round of the round of 6. And Ragnarok getting out third goes into the first round of the round of 6.
So Rogue has to win 1 match to make it into the playoff, and Ragnarok has to win 2.
Yes.
Yeah. So first, second, and third. That's pretty severe difference.
Yes.
At this level, anyway.
Yes. Trap only needs to win 1 match. He's in the finals.
Yeah, that's a huge benefit. So yeah, it really makes the group stages feel more impactful. If that's what they were going for, I think they nailed it.
Yeah. Yep.
Because like in previous ones, it's like you got out, congratulations, whatever. Like it doesn't really mean a whole lot as long as you get out, you know?
It's true.
Yeah.
So just quickly, are they using the current ladder map pool? Because they were playing on Golden Wall. Is Golden Wall in the current map pool?
No.
Okay, so they've just picked a bunch of maps that I don't know people liked or they liked or
because
I'm pretty sure
from March 2020 to October 2020.
Right.
That's when it was in the ladder.
Because this is the map pool that they're using: Berlingrad, Blackburn, Curious Minds, Glittering Ashes, Golden Wall, Hardwire, Nautilus, Pride of Eltaris, and Roughneck.
Heck is Roughneck?
Well, it's not Roughneck Ladder Edition, so it's not on the ladder.
It's a new map. It's a brand new map.
Yeah, first used in StarCraft Season 1 of 2020.
Yep.
2022, I should say. Yep, brand new map.
By The Music 246, who's a very accomplished map maker.
Cool.
Huh. Yeah, GSL likes doing that. They like dropping new maps into the pool that they're using, or...
Right.
Have we seen them bring back old maps for GSL before?
No, that I don't think they've done, because they've always had like new-ish maps, right?
Yeah,
or
for sure.
A new map that was made just for them. I'm trying to remember what the last one was. But I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of it. It's gonna kill me because I can remember games being played on it because it was like a 4-player map if I recall, and everyone vetoed it. Oblivion. It was GSL Oblivion, and it's the one where it wasn't a 4-player map at all. I was wrong. It's the one where parting just was like pylon block on the ramp.
Yeah. Yep. I remember that one. Everybody does. Terrible map. That's funny.
Yeah. Oh.
All right. So next up in a couple days now, we're going to see Group B Part 1, Creator, DRG, Hero, Dark, and Maru. Or, sorry, Part 2, not Part 1.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to finish up Group B, which again, this whole schedule is so weird, but okay. We can figure it out. We're smart people.
We can.
Yeah. So currently, Creator's up. He's got a 2-0 map score or series score. DRG is 1-1. Heroes 1-1. So it's some pretty solid parity here.
Yeah, Dark is also 1-1. So all 3 of them are kind of tied for second place. So it's really anyone's game since 2 of them can get out. Well, three of them can get out. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so Dongrigu plays Maru, which is going to be rough for him. Creator and Hero are playing PvP Clan Fiesta. Dongrigu and Dark. I think Dark ZV is insane. He probably should have a problem with that. Yeah, Dongrigu has rough matchups here. I don't see him getting through. You have to beat Maru and Dark? Oh.
Well, I mean, Maru's currently at the bottom of the pack. Or 2.
True.
Lost both of these games.
Yeah, but to Dark, which, sure, fair.
Yeah.
Right? And then he lost to 2-1 to Creator, who's kicking ass right now. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's step down from him to play Dong Regu right now. I think he'll be okay. I really do.
Yeah, he'll probably.
Especially if he's playing for his life. And then he has to play Hero, which I think he can beat Hero too. I don't know.
I don't know. It'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure. That's the point. Fair. All right, good. That going to be it from us. Anything else to cover today?
I heard a rumor that today is Duddle's birthday, so happy birthday, Duddles.
Happy birthday, Duddles, who will not listen to this podcast.
No, he won't. But if he ever did, a little Easter egg for you right at the end.
Yeah.
Yep.
Happy birthday, you filthy animal. All right, good. So, unless that's anything else, we're good. All right. So that.
Actually, hold on. Remember how I said I loaded up GSL and then went and took a shower?
Yeah.
That was because at 2:30 in the morning, I dropped this lovely Falcon Paladin hour mug full of piping hot tea all down myself.
Were you okay? I was just burns.
I did. It did hurt for a while, but there are no permanent marks by the looks of it.
Okay.
It sucked. I don't recommend it.
No.
Yeah, and that was awful.
So if you want to one-up Somicron, buy the mug, use it without dumping it all over yourself, and you can feel superior.
Yes, you can feel superior to me that way. It gets a little bit worse because I'd gotten up in the morning and I realized I needed to do my laundry, so I was maybe not wearing all of the attire I should have been.
Okay.
So the amount of clothing that there should have been to absorb some of the very hot tea was not present.
Ah, goodness. You sure you don't have any burns?
Quite sure. I've thoroughly inspected myself.
You're not feeling any burns. It's hard to ignore those.
I mean, I've had worse burns at work, so it's fine.
Oh, it's true. You're all immune to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. All right.
Yeah. So.
Well, très bien. Good. That is going to be it from us today. This has been Somicron and Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of the Falcon Paladin Hour. You can go ahead and support the podcast directly at patreon.com/Somicron. You can find merch like the lovely Falcon Paladin mug and the Sook t-shirt, which, if you don't know what that is, you don't remember the Discord. So join the Discord, figure out what sooking is. And then you'll understand the shirt at falconpaladin.store.
Do you guys not have the expression like chucking a sookie or something? Like being real sooky or sook? Okay, so in Australia, that just means crying. Like kids that are having a sook. Yeah, they're just crying about something. Yeah.
I mean, it kind of works. It kind of works with what the Discord version is.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right.
It's funny because I didn't realize it until right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not a word I'd say often.
No. Is it like old slang?
No. Well, I mean...
Okay, it's current.
It's probably something I heard from my parents.
Yeah, but you've heard it used in the last 5 years.
Yeah, like my sister would probably say it to, like, use it to describe her kids when they cry. Like, Chucky's just being a sook, right?
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
RD would like that. You'd really find that hilarious. All right, good. That's going to be it from us. Thanks again for hanging out. Stay safe, stay healthy, and above all,